Le confessioni di Amanda Sloat, ex Senior Director for Europe al Consiglio di Sicurezza Nazionale della Casa Bianca e Special Assistant di Joe Biden sulla posizione degli Stati Uniti in merito al conflitto Russia-Ucraina agli inizi del conflitto. Come toccato a molti altri VIP, tra cui la nostra Giorgia Meloni, i famosi comici russi Vovan e Lexus sono riusciti a beffare questa alta funzionaria del governo americano durante il mandato di Biden, che ha confessato la posizione guerrafondaia del governo statunitense all'inizio del conflitto tra Russia e Ucraina.
I mean, look, the NATO question has always been difficult. You know, I mean, we had some conversations even before the war started about what if Ukraine comes out and just says to Russia, fine, you know, we won't go into NATO, you know, if that stops the war, if that stops the invasion, which at that point it may well have done. I was uncomfortable with the idea of the US pushing Ukraine not to do that and sort of implicitly giving Russia some sort of sphere of influence or veto power on that. You know, there is certainly a question almost 3 years on now, you know, would that have been better to do before the war started? Would that have been better to do in Istanbul talks? It certainly would have prevented the destruction and the loss of life.
What was Biden's position at that moment?
Yeah, to test my memory, but like I don't think Biden felt like it was his place to tell Ukraine what to do then, to tell Ukraine not to pursue Ukraine or NATO.
So my question is, could we avoid such a situation, or we made a mistake somewhere?
Yeah, I guess if you want to do an alternative version of history, you know, one option would have just been for Ukraine to say in January 2022, fine, you know, we won't go into NATO, we'll stay neutral. Ukraine could have made a deal, I guess, in March, April of 2022, around the time of the Istanbul talks. I know then there were differing views between our country's military around the counteroffensive. You know, I think during the Biden administration, that had been the big hope of Ukraine getting back territory and being able to negotiate a better deal. That didn't go as anybody wanted it to, and I think there's different arguments in the US and in Ukraine about why that didn't work out.
Tutti noi speriamo con tutto il cuore che tali elementi vengano puniti prima o poi. Individui che hanno mandato circa 2 milioni di giovani ucraini e russi al macello. E questo per niente, assolutamente niente,